What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Bet Daily Saturday edition here at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. What is that, Central Time Zone that you guys are in? We've got an early kickoff here for college football, so we got to get to it about an hour early. We got no time to waste either because this is an absolutely loaded day. Papa Dude, Aaron, good morning, guys. Let's kick it off with college football. Let's start with you, Papa Dude, here. We've got a noon kickoff between two ranked teams, two undefeated teams, probably the biggest undefeated fraud in Syracuse, whose schedule has been atrocious. And in Clemson, Syracuse headed into Clemson, laying 14. You're going to take this game later. You want to talk a little bit about the Clemson-Syracuse?
Sure. I think this is we're going to find out, obviously, what Syracuse is all about today. A lot of people are pretty high on them. They do have a really good win over Purdue, and Purdue's a good team. The game last week is tainted because North Carolina State's quarterback didn't play, but they did thump them. Their defense is good. I watched them on a Friday night one night, and I'm telling you, they'll thump you. They'll knock the snot out of you. Their quarterback's getting better. Everybody's a little leery of Clemson's offense. So I think Clemson beats them today, and I think they're going to win. So, we'll have to see. I just don't think Syracuse is good enough to go into Clemson and win.
I love this. We got Manny's Auto Shop here shouting out with Lightning McQueen there. Ka-chow, baby. I like it. We just watched that movie the other night. I agree with Papa. I like Clemson in this spot. I'm actually laying the 14 with them. I think they're going to blow Syracuse out of the water. I just don't think Syracuse has faced anyone near this level of talent. And what they're like, if you look at them statistically too, if you take out the Wagner game where they outgained Wagner by 600 yards, it becomes very, very different when you're looking at them just from a rankings perspective, both offensively and defensively. Aaron, Clemson, Syracuse, noon kickoff here. You playing anything?
If I mention how much I love our fans,
yeah,
whoever made this account, it's a legend.
Yeah.
I'm taking
these motors, though.
Manny's Motors. Come on. So anyway, I'm taking Clemson in this game as well. The bubble is going to burst. Listen, here's the deal. Syracuse does play Clemson pretty well historically, but those games usually are in the dome up at Syracuse. And I just think on the road, usually it doesn't go well for Syracuse in general. And also, most of the time when they're playing Clemson, it's kind of Clemson's like, God, we got to play Syracuse. Let's get this over with type of game. Today, it's a big game on a national stage, two unbeaten ranked teams. I don't think it's going to go well. I do think Syracuse will be able to stop Clemson a little bit. End of the day, though, that offense is going to have all kinds of trouble. I think there'll be turnovers in this game. I think Clemson wins it pretty easily.
Their defensive line coach called them out on Monday as well, saying that they were all soft because they gave up 6 yards per carry. I believe it's to Florida State last week at Clemson. So you're going to have a very angry front seven from the Clemson perspective. That could cause a ton of trouble for Syracuse. I think their best player is a running back who is probably a decent NFL prospect there. It's going to be tough for him to find some lanes to run in this one if Clemson's defensive line picks it up. Papa Dude, we got another ranked matchup here. We've got UCLA headed into Oregon, 9 versus 10. This is the first top 10 game in the Pac-12 in 3 years. So we actually get some Pac-12 football here back. Oregon, this is the first time, UCLA, first time of them really traveling outside of, or playing a true road game. They played Colorado, I believe, but that really was not much. Outside of that, it's the first time. That stadium is going to be absolutely going nuts. Oregon laying 7 at home. The total sitting at 71 right now. Anything you like here?
The over is pretty high in this game, but I think it could exceed that. These are two teams with dynamic offenses. Bo Nix has had a great year at Oregon. A lot of people thought he would get out of the SEC. Pac-12, not quite as good a competition. He's playing very, very, very well. UCLA quarterback's been excellent. Another interesting thing that just dawned on me today, Chip Kelly's going home to Oregon in a huge game. This is where Chip Kelly made his name. So that's another thing in this. I think UCLA, they really got my attention when they scored 42 on Utah and beat them pretty easy. I think Oregon's going to win because the game's there, but I don't like that line. 7's quite a bit. I think it's going to be close. I'm thinking maybe a field goal game, 38-35, something like that.
I think you could see a ton of points here. UCLA traveling to me is the big question mark here, Aaron. With them going into, first off, why isn't it called the Pond? Can we call this the Pond? So it's like the Duck Pond. I have no idea if there's a nickname for the stadium, but it should be called the Pond. Anyway, UCLA traveling up to Oregon. Bo Nix, home Bo Nix. We talked about that when he was in the SEC. He always plays much better at home. Can this Ducks offense just roll over this UCLA defense? You're willing to lay the 7? You with Papa Dude here thinking more of money line player plus 7 the other way.
I'm with our commenter here, Max Witten. I'm staying away. I just think this game could get a little kooky. It is the Pac-12. We've seen it before. I think it's two really good offenses. I can't go against Oregon as far as actually winning this game. I feel like they got great momentum after a terrible loss to Georgia, and I think all of us thought, oh my gosh, this is bad. Not that losing to Georgia is bad, but they were not competitive in the game. Then they have really rolled up and won 5 straight and beat some decent opponents during that stretch. But UCLA has been pretty solid as well. It's tough because UCLA can really score. So laying 7 when you're up against them is a little scary to me. So I'm going to stay away from the game. I think Oregon wins it. If you made me take a side, I would say Oregon -7, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not playing this one.
I didn't put anything pregame. If Oregon gets down in the first quarter, I'm probably looking to play them in game and see if I can get them like -2.5, something like that in game just to win the game at home. But nothing for me pre-flop here. I think this is one you kind of want to watch and then see what happens or how it plays out. Last college football game we're talking about real quick is one that I have already bet and almost was my best bet of the day. You got Kansas State heading into TCU. TCU laying 3.5. The total sitting at 54.5. They are expecting 20 to 30 mile per hour winds in this game as well. So the under has been steamed down from, I think it was 58 all the way to 54.5. Papa Dude, Big 12 battle here. Which one of these two teams do you like?
Well, I tell you what, the wind will play a huge factor if it's that much, 20 to 30. It affects the kicking game so much more than it does the passing game, really, because how you win the toss, what are you going to do? You're going to take the ball. You want the ball in the fourth quarter? Man, it means a lot if that wind is blowing like that. That favors, I think, Kansas State more than it does TCU because K-State runs the ball extremely well. I'm not going to get into it too much. Did you say you took it for your best bet?
I didn't take it for my best bet.
Okay.
I almost played the Kansas State +3.5. I think this is a tough spot for TCU. This is their 5th straight big game. They had SMU and then 4, which is a rivalry game for TCU. And then 4 straight ranked games. They're coming off a tough game against Oklahoma State.
Right.
Kansas State coming in here much well rested. To me, I agree with you, Papa Dude. They're going to run the ball well tonight.
Yeah, and it's a game. Kansas State's one of those teams that they don't impress you until the end of the game and they beat you. They're not impressive. They're extremely well coached. Martinez has just been perfect fit.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Perfect fit for that offense. He kind of got out of that Nebraska crap where he got blamed for every loss and they're not any good. And maybe this guy's better than we thought he was. And he was getting them to almost win these games. So he's perfect fit there. He's in a small place. They love him. TCU's bubble is due to burst. They were lucky last week to win. They have been impressive. I'm kind of with you on this. I just couldn't bet anything, though, because one minute I like TCU, the next minute I don't. So I see where you're coming from with that win. That could be a factor.
Yeah, I think it's a tough spot for TCU. They are at home, though. It will be Baracus Stadium there at night. Aaron, did you play this one at all?
I think TCU will beat them. I'm on the other side. Not so fast, you two. I'm on the other side here with this one. Listen, I think K-State is a bit overrated. And I think you guys are hyping up Adrian Martinez a little bit too much.
Oh, God. Here we go.
You take out his game against us, he hasn't done that much. Tulane held them to 10. Iowa State held him to 10.
He's got a point.
I don't think he's playing that good. I think he had a big nationally televised game at night against OU, and the national perceptive is Oklahoma's good for some reason, and he trashed a really terrible defense. I'm still on the fence with this K-State team. I think TCU showed a lot of guts last week, beating a much better Oklahoma State team than a Kansas State team. So that's why I'm going to go TCU in this spot.
All right, I love. Well, let's we'll talk offline. See if we can get a little action here.
One other thing, since you mentioned wind, Mike, that means that'll be a huge factor in Stillwater today in the Texas-Oklahoma State game too. So the funny thing about that stadium, most stadiums, the wind or they run north to south. That crazy place is east to west. So I don't know. That means that the ball will be swirling. It'll be going sideways, So that's going to be an interesting scenario also. And then we also don't know if Spencer Sanders is playing or not. So,
yeah, last I heard he was 50-50. Texas laying 6 right now makes me feel like Sanders is probably not playing. That feels like it's a line without Sanders. If he's in there and Oklahoma State's catching 6, I'd be surprised.
Here's the deal. Let me warn people, okay? Gundy is not going to tell you until that game kicks off. That is an in-game play because if Sanders plays and Oklahoma State's getting 6, that's the play.
Yeah, you got
to. If he's out, who knows? So be careful with that game.
Yeah,
he ain't going to tell you until that thing kicks off.
Right. Don't bet it, like you said, bet it in game.
Yeah, we haven't talked a ton about in-game betting. It's one of where the majority of my betting money goes in-game. I talk about it quite a bit. Like I was texting Aaron last night. I played the Grizzlies plus 3.5 in-game there. That was a pretty easy winner. In-game, you're facing a single person in an algorithm. That algorithm does not take into account injuries. Most of the algorithms that sportsbooks uses simply takes past results of 10,000 or so games and compares it to the spread and the total in that game. And that's how they generate those lines so quickly. So injuries are not factored into the mass majority of them. A couple books do it. It's a great way to take advantage of this type of thing because if that game goes off at 6 and then Sanders plays, the in-game number will not get greatly adjusted even if Sanders takes the first snap. So it's a great way to look at it.
And that's a very odd situation that's going on at Oklahoma State right now. The rumor was last week he's not going to play. He's not going to play. He played the whole game. Mm-hmm. Now it's the same thing this week. He's not playing. I don't know. So yeah, be careful with that one.
Be an interesting one. Let's head over to the NBA here. No one taking an NBA game today. I was interested in one of them. I did bet this game, but it's not going to be my best bet. I took Cleveland minus the 1.5 against the Chicago Bulls. I think Cleveland's just going to be a better team this year than a lot of people expect. Picked up Donovan Mitchell in the offseason. Love Mobley moving forward here as a second-year player as well. Papa Dude, I mentioned this one before the show. You were interested a little bit in Cleveland as well. Did you look at it?
Yeah, a little bit. The thing with the Bulls, they're banged up. They got injuries. I think if they were in full strength, it'd be a little different. But I think Levine or Levine, whatever it is, he's still out, right?
Yep.
And then Ball is out. So they're a one-trick pony right now. And Cleveland's more balanced. So that's probably a pretty good play to go with the Cavaliers in that one.
Aaron, no marquee games tonight from the NBA. Did you look at any other basketball games, or did you pass on? You want to talk a little baseball?
I didn't look at a thing from the NBA. I'm just gonna have to trust you guys from now on. No, I'm kidding.
Don't trust me
so much. Listen, we'll talk about the hockey in a minute. I love the hockey. I love horse racing today. NBA was just like, yeah, I have a better day for that. I'll for the future. I'll look at the NBA.
Yeah, the Mavs are catching the Grizz here back-to-back nights. Grizzly got us home in a money line parlay last night. Tough spot going into Dallas tonight with a more rested Mavs team waiting for them. Jump over to the Major League Baseball real quick. 2 games there. I didn't really like either of these. We got the Astros headed to New York for Game 3, leading the series up 2-0. You got Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yankees, and really what is a must-win game for them. And on the NL side, the Padres playing the Phillies, Game 4. Phillies up 2-1 there. Clevenger on the mound for San Diego. That line is basically a pick-em. Papa Dude, any interest in baseball today?
I didn't want to play him. I'm very interested in the games, though. I think these are going to be really good. If I was going to play one, I like Houston today. One thing, it all depends on the pitcher. He's a strikeout pitcher. He struck out 194 batters in 150 innings, and the Yankees strike out all the time. So if he's on, I think they can beat him. I'm not as high on Garrett Cole as a lot of people are, and it's a must game for the Yankees. They have to win. So I'm staying away from it. The other one, you got 2 pitchers pretty even. The Phillies are on a roll. I don't know if San Diego beats them today. I don't know. I would take the Phillies in that game, I think. I just think the Phillies are a destiny team right now. They sure are. They're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, Phillies have looked phenomenal. If they get this one 3-1 headed back to San Diego, puts them in a great spot. Plus money on the Astros just seems like something you should be doing right now with the way that they're playing baseball. So I agree with you on that one, Papa Dude. Aaron, you kind of teased the NHL. We got a full slate today, starting at 1 o'clock, going all the way through the end of the night. You're going to hockey for one specific game. Is there any other games that jumped out at you in the hockey slate?
Oh my God, a bunch. I'm like, I may go broke betting hockey and horses today because I like the both of the cards so well. I like an Oilers Washington Capitals parlay. Unfortunately, I think the Oilers will get the best of the Blues, and I like the Capitals a little bit. I like Boston a little bit to beat Minnesota, and that's a -110 for Boston. There was a couple upsets here that I really liked. One I'll save for the best bet. But Buffalo is plus money at Vancouver. Vancouver has not won a game yet, so I'll take the Sabres in that one. And what about the Carolina Hurricanes? They're plus money going into Calgary. I'll take a little bit of action on that as well. And to wrap it up, how about a Nashville Golden Knights parlay at the end of the night? I think that's going to be a plus money parlay that's going to work as well. So it was kind of a crazy night last night, all upsets,
Yep.
But that's going to happen. Hockey is a lot like baseball. It's a long season. You're going to have games where it's like, how did I lose that? And it's just like, well, the goalie played great, and you just move on. So today, though, there's a lot. And I haven't even talked about the best bet that I'm saving.
Yeah, I was interested in that Carolina Calgary game as well. I'll take Carolina on the road there. I think that the Hurricanes are really good this year. I think they might be the second best team in the NHL. Getting them in a plus number is awfully interesting to me there. You mentioned that Avalanche Golden Knights game as well. The Avs need to get it going. They do not look like themselves right now. Playing back-to-back. They had their backup goalie last night, so they did save their starter for tonight. They need this one. That's one of their. I'm going to watch it, and if they come out hot, I might take the Avalanche in game there because I think that should be a phenomenal one. All right, let's move over to the world of horse racing. We got a busy day here, so we're trying to fly through as much as we can. Let's start out at Keeneland here with the Grade 2 Raven Run. Aaron, we're going against each other here. I don't think either of us are going to take the favorite Smash Ticket, who is 5-2 on the morning line. This horse started out in the Todd Fincher barn, heads over to that Rob Atras barn, looked wonderful at Pimlico last time, winning by open lengths after getting the job done at Saratoga. There's quite a bit of speed in this spot, though, so I think there's a couple other places to go. Who'd you end up with on top here?
Well, I think it's going to be a good one, but I went Wicked Halo on top for this one. I think the Steve Asmussen runner has been fantastic in 3 straight starts, including a Grade 2 win last time out at Saratoga. Some of these horses from that race are back in this one. I just think this horse is coming into the race really well. Smash Ticket is going to have to set that pace, going to have to go an extra furlong today. I think the 7 furlongs is kind of where Wicked Halo is at her best. So I like Wicked Halo. I think 4-1. I hope we get it. I think it'd be great. I think the pace sets up, and I think this horse is going to run really well today.
Yeah, Wicked Halo loves winning. 5-for-9 career. You can't argue with that. I went to the 5-horse Fingal's Cave here, and this is interesting. I mean, a New York bred, David Donk heading outside of New York. You don't see it very often. He was extremely high on this horse. And Fingal's Cave has been successful at a bunch of different distances. Debuted at 6, won easily, came back at 7, won easily. Stretched out to 1 1/8, won easily, was in a 1 1/8 stakes race last time out. A little bit closer, but that was over the mud. This horse has been better over the fast track. I just have a feeling you're going to see a wonderful setup here because you don't need the lead, but you got the speed. And this horse is in form and fit, so that the extra 7 furlongs shouldn't be an issue. I agree with you. The 8's a little interesting. I thought the 7 was interesting as well, coming off back-to-back turf races. Did you look at the 7 at all here? Freedom Speaks?
I used the 5. I did not use the 7. Here's the deal. I think if you use the 7, you might like the 4 a little bit too, because the last time these 2 horses were on the dirt, the 4 actually won. I like the idea of let's get some closers involved to try to beat these favorites. So I wouldn't talk you off the 7. That's just not one that I use, but I think the winner's going to come from out of it just because I think the 1 and the 2 are really going to bang heads early. And I don't know. The 2, if you've watched her races, boy, it doesn't really scream 7 furlongs to me. You look at that race 2 back at Saratoga when she had some challengers. She needed every bit of 6. 6.1, it would have been bad for this horse. So I'm a little bit worried about the stretch out.
I agree with you. This is also a step up in class here for Smash Ticket. I was there at Saratoga that day. I actually had her to start out a double, which I remember, if you remember.
Yep, I remember that very well. Yep.
That was a fun little double. Chad Brown Turf Sprinter was the other leg of that one, the 2-2. And it was, she needed that wire. Let's just put it that way. And this field is significantly better with Zeus facing there, and that added distance, I think, is a problem. So yeah, I think we're both against Smash Ticket here, trying to beat that horse who's 5-2 on the morning line. Let's head over to Aqueduct here. We've got the Hill Prince, the grade 2, which is your feature, and a lot of fun here. I mean, this is a race where a lot of different directions you can go. You got 2 Chad Browns, you got unanimous consent, and you have McKinnon, who's debuting from the Chad Brown bar, switching over from the Doug O'Neill barn. Be Better in here as well as Celestial City. A lot of different directions to go. Aaron, where'd you go on top?
I'm really interested to see what Chad Brown does with McKinnon. So I took number 7, McKinnon, on top here. This horse had been with Doug O'Neill, had a fantastic 2-year-old season, and was one of those Southern California rare turf horses that we thought, yeah, that horse has got a shot at the Breeders' Cup, and ran 3rd in that race, and ran behind Modern Games and was fairly competitive. Tis the Bomb. I mean, it was right there. Kind of a photo, not a photo. I mean, you knew Tis the Bomb won, but it was a close finish there for second. So great 2-year-old season. 3-year-old year's kind of been a mess. They tried the Derby Trail for some reason. Then they went to the synthetic, came back to Del Mar, hasn't run very well. And they just said the heck with it. Let's send him to Chad Brown. Let's see what he can do. I'm very interested in this horse. Flavian Pratt jumps aboard. I think that's a good sign. I took the number 7 McKinnon. I hope we get that 9-2 price.
I'm really interested to see what that horse goes off at. Just because I think both the Browns take money here. I think Be Better takes a little bit of money here. So this is going to be one of those races you're probably going to get 3-1, 4-1 on your favorite in this spot. This year has been a mess for McKinnon. It's the reason why I'm not putting him on top. It's just he may need 1 or 2 in the Brown barn before you see the best from him. And the horses he faced in California just weren't that good, and he was not able to get the job done, which is a little bit concerning to me. However, ERJ Racing, Eric Johnson, the Blues' #1 pick and the Stanley Cup winning defenseman, when he names horses after teammates, they have typically been very good. And so it was interesting that this one became McKinnon, obviously the captain of the Avalanche, and a very, very talented player there. So the fact that he named this horse McKinnon told you what they thought of him, and he's so far delivered. I went with the 1 Celestial City here. Shug McGahee, Lascano. This is a horse who ran really well last time out, beating Danzig with the Stars, who's running today, ironically, as well. But 2 back was behind Annapolis and dead heated there. Annapolis, we saw how good that horse was last time out. I like Celestial City here, getting 7-2 price. I think that actually might have float up a little bit. Did you like the one at all, Aaron, or no?
Yeah, I do. I think Celestial City does make a lot of sense. You said it. I mean, it's a horse that just has class, and that's going to be the thing. It's this race. It's a lot of those not quite good enough to be like a big time 3-year-old turf horse, but a lot of them that are like also rans, but they ran decent, not like they were 8th in those races. It's like a lot of 3rds, a lot of 4ths. And this one is definitely one, Hall of Fame stakes, ran 3rd, Saranac, 2nd. So Celestial City definitely is in here with a shot. Lascano on the turf. Obviously a pretty good jockey on that Naira circuit on the turf.
Yeah, Be Better is the other one that's interesting to me. First time trying the turf after trying the Curlin, was pointing toward the Travers if you ran well in the Curlin. Didn't go so well, but now getting onto the turf for the first time for Pletcher, picks up IRAD. That's another one that I think is interesting, sitting on the board at 6-1 in a wide open race. All right, let's jump over to the best bets of the day. We'll kick it off with Magic, who I thought was going to join us, but can't make it. He is headed to the CFL, taking Calgary -3 tonight. He didn't give me a reason, so we're just going to trust him on this one. Calgary -3, that's CFL. So make sure you plug that in there if you're looking for it. All right, Papa Dude, headed to college football, taking a money line parlay. Tell us about it.
Well, we got some new people in here today, so I don't think they know my misery right now. I can't get anything right. So what do you do when you can't get anything right? You go with 3 teams. If that's not the
What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong when you pick the Avalanche last night against Seattle and they don't even win the game? You're picking them to win by 2 and they don't even win the game. What can possibly go wrong with this?
They weren't even a threat to win that game. They got outshot like 35-19.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And so, and then the night before I missed on Calgary. Anyway, that's ancient history. So we're going to go with 3 today. Okay. All right. So I'm sitting there playing around with this. So what I did was, what I'm doing is thinking too much. That's what happens when you get in a slump. You think too much. Okay. So I got to thinking, okay, Clemson. I was going to pick them. I was going to do with Clemson, Missouri. I was thinking, okay, I'll do the spread. No, I can't do that. So I'll do the money line. I'm 99% sure Clemson is going to win.
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure. I would be 100% sure, but I'm cursed at the moment. So I'm 99% sure.
Where's your T-shirt?
He didn't bring it.
Well, he lost anyway.
I'm 95% sure Missouri's going to win.
Yeah.
I would be 99% sure if they weren't Missouri. Okay?
Fair.
That's fair. Okay, so those are 14-point favorites. You don't get any money there. So get to looking. Okay, let's find something with a little bit of value that'll get us a ticket. We can make a little bit of money.
Yep.
All right. I'm 85% sure Penn State's going to win.
All right.
No good? Is that too much?
That's if 85% on a -5 favorite's a pretty good number. I'm not gonna lie. They're probably like 62% to win something like that, maybe 68 based on the numbers. So.
But when you look at that and they're playing Minnesota and they're at home, don't you just lean towards Penn State?
Yeah.
They should get the job done.
They should.
Here's the problem. Will they be flat? They had a huge game and they got murdered. Will they be flat?
I don't think so because they're at home, and I think they bounce back to prove they're not as bad as they were last week. That's what I'm going with. But this is the teaser game. This is the one that's the toughest of the sequence. I believe it's the last one too. I know they play at night. I don't know, but I know Clemson's early. I don't know about Missouri. It is whiteout also.
They generally play well on whiteout night.
They play well on whiteout. That was the other key. It is at night. I think they get it. I'm really confident on this.
Honestly, for a plus money bet, this seems very logical. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about spreads. You don't have to worry about anything. Three teams that are very logical to win games, and you're getting plus money.
Yep. I like it too. Clemson's going to, I think, roll. We talked about that, Syracuse. So Missouri always scares me, man, because I went to Missouri and I saw them lose a bunch of games they shouldn't have lost. But
they should dominate this game.
Yeah, and whiteout night is generally very good. So I like a little 3-team parlay action there. Papadou taking plus 105 on the money line. Hopefully we can get that turned around and get the curse out of the way. Let's go. We'll go to my best bet here. I'm headed to Aqueduct, and I'm taking a swing. This is race number 4 at Aqueduct. I'm going with a 6-1 morning line horse, the 3, Juliana's Rose, for a couple of reasons here. First off, second, look at Aaron's face. He's like, this is a shocker.
Who is this horse? I'm trying to see who it is. All right.
Second off the layoff later in the 4-year-old season. To me, the key here is this horse getting back to a fast dirt. 0 for 3 on wet dirt. 1 for 1 over the fast dirt, how this horse broke its maiden. You also have 4 speed horses signed on here, including the 2-horse Can't Hurry Love, who, by the way, 0 for 4 on fast dirt. Only win coming over a sloppy racetrack. I think getting back to fast dirt and getting the pace set up is going to help out the 3, Juliana's Rose, a ton here. 6-1 is a huge number. We should be getting closer to 2.5 to 1 in my mind in this spot. I think there's a very good chance that this pace collapses and that the 3-horse is the one who's benefits from it and is able to pick up the pieces here. The 6.5 furlongs is key as well. That extra half furlong will matter for the pace, and it will help this horse close. So give me the 3-horse Juliana's Rose at 6-1 on the morning line, Aqueduct race number 4. Aaron, did you use this horse at all?
No.
That's what I thought. Taking a little bit of a swing here. I went through all of college football and I liked a couple games. I liked the Cleveland game in the NBA, but I couldn't pass up 6-1 on a horse I think is going to get the absolute perfect setup second off the layoff.
Okay. Good luck.
No belief. I like it. I can't wait for this one to roll home and give us a nice little plus 600 number here. All right, Aaron, let's go to your best bet. Headed up north, taking a nice little underdog here in the hockey slate.
Well, I hope I picked the right game because I'm playing like 100 games for hockey. So I hope I picked the right one for the best bet. All right, here's why I'm giving out this one today. By the way, if you like sports, what a day. If you like horse racing, what a day. It's going to be fun. Hockey tonight, 6 o'clock. The Maple Leafs go to the Winnipeg Jets. I like the Jets as an underdog in this spot. Maple Leafs, they're okay. They're getting going a little bit, but they're a little slow out of the gate. They're not playing great. Winnipeg comes home tonight after a tough 3-game road trip, and they played well on the road. They won in Colorado. They lost a couple close games. Here they come. They're back home. It's a Saturday night. I think it'll be crazy. I think they'll be really happy to get home. they've been playing quality opponents. So the Maple Leafs coming in, that's not going to overwhelm them. It's not like they played a bunch of dogs and now they got to play a good team. I like this Winnipeg team. I think they're a little better than they were last year. I think they're going to have a nice season. I think this is a good spot to get a plus 138 here in a game that I think is a toss-up. So I looked at it like that. That's the one I wanted to give away because I thought the price was one of the better ones on the board tonight. And like I said, I think it's a toss-up game. I like both teams, but I think Winnipeg gets the job done. I bet it's a whiteout in Winnipeg tonight too, guys.
It may very well, maybe. Connor Hellebuyck plus 138, never a bad thing. One of the better goalies in the NHL up there. Let's rip through the chat here. A couple of comments. Max taking the Pens and Pens over 1.5 in the first period. They are playing very good hockey right now. See if Pittsburgh able to keep it going. Cindy chiming in. Do you like plus 660 on Bruce Boudreau as the first coach fired? I like plus 660 on anything. So 66 to 1 on Brady. So yeah, that's not so bad right there. UFC, I don't know anything about UFC. David jumping in here saying Sterling by decision's his best bet. Also taking, I like this plus 295 for Peter Yan KO and plus 143 for Sterling by decision. So I like me some plus numbers there. Let's see, we got anyone else chiming in? Dr. Tang chiming in here, likes Navy early. Do you guys
look at this one?
I'm not sure who Navy Houston. Any thoughts on that one, Papa Dude?
Houston is very, very unpredictable. I looked at that a little bit, but I just don't think Navy's very good.
Houston. Not so fast, Dr. Tane. Houston.
Yeah, I don't think Navy's very good. Aaron, I like your bet a lot. There's just one problem. I picked it too. So
real quick here, a couple people asking, Max chimed in. Shadi wants to know, besides smash tickets, any favorites you want to fade today at Keeneland? I like the 1 in the third race, so I don't think it's the favorite. I think that's 7-2 on the morning line. Pretty competitive race. I don't like the 8, I guess, in the 5th. That would be the other, or the 6th race. And the 8's going to be a fairly heavy favorite, I believe.
The 8 in the 6th race? You don't like Gunite today?
No, I don't like Gunite today. I'm going against Gun. I like Arturius in that spot, who's cutting back for Chad Brown.
Oh, boy.
That's what Shotty says, too.
I think Arturius, I don't know. I don't know what that horse has done.
Well, it's going to win today. That's what it's going to do.
All right.
That would be a big win. That would be his biggest win by far. I like going against the 6 in the 4th race today a little bit. I kind of like Curly Ruth. I don't know. That's not much of a price, but I do like Curly Ruth, the 4 in the 4th race. I don't know about this Arturius pick though. I don't know about that one.
I got you off your game now. Let's see.
What about the last? I don't really like. There's not a strong favorite in the last. I think you can get a price on there. I like the 12 in the last race.
Good pick. That's my top choice as well. 12 in the last. There we go.
That means the horse will be 2-1 if we both like it.
I don't think so. 6-1, not a wonderful post. I actually think today's Keeneland card is a lot of fun. Both the cards at Aqueduct and Keeneland are a blast. I did not get a chance to look at Laurel, where they have the millions as well. A bunch of Laurel State bred races. They have some really good sized fields over there. So if I can sneak that in, I will. But we've got an absolutely loaded day of sports too. So it's going to be tough. Kickoffs start at noon with a very good game in each window. Hockey starts at 1 o'clock. Basketball starts at 1 o'clock. Aqueduct and Keeneland going at 12:30 and 1 o'clock. Wonderful day. Baseball. Yeah, the baseball games. What is that? I think it's the 3:30 or 4:30 is the first
4:30. Yeah. Like
yeah.
So it's a wonderful day of sports. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in and tuning in here. We'll be back tomorrow at the regular time, same place, noon Eastern, with a Sunday NFL slate, as well as bets from around the horse racing and sports world. Let's take a look at the best bets before we take off here. Papa Dude going with a money line parlay, playing Clemson, Missouri, and Penn State plus 105 when you team them together. Aaron taking the Winnipeg Jets plus 138. I'm going to go to Aqueduct race number 4, horse number 3, Juliana's Rose, 6-1 on the morning line, trying to get a big winner home. Magic taking Calgary -3 in the CFL. For the week, we are 6-4, up $229. For the year, up $1,106. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Good luck, no matter where you are betting, what you're doing, be it sports or horses, and we'll see you again tomorrow.